Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm DarcyBits, and today we are playing Let Me Trick You Into Watching Me Draw. Okay, so today's plan is we are going to be making a cycle of legendary creatures using the advanced deck builder options. We're going to be putting in mana cost, creature type, and deck name. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of using fixed mana costs. I just don't like making them personally, and you can't just choose a specific mana color. It just cost is what you have to do. But if I want to enforce a legendary creature, I'm going to have to do that. And this does let us make an interesting cycle, so not too bad. I asked my girlfriend what I should do for today's episode, and she said, how about 5 new, upstarts or something? I think she said it differently, but as I'm paraphrasing, that are in Capenna, and they are usurping the current leaders. So we have the legendary creatures, each of which are just the New Capenna color combos. Only 1 pip of each. They're all 3 mana cost because that is easy for me, mana value. And all of them have the deck name Usurpers of New Capenna with the gang that they're usurping afterwards. So here we have all of them. Isn't that lovely? So we're going to be starting with Obscura, moving to Maestros, Riveteers, Cabaretti, and then finishing with Brokers. That's what we're doing. So that means we are starting with, of course, our fancy-pantsy Obscura. Although, one more thing, just to make sure this reads properly, we're going to have a dummy card at the bottom. Very important. Okay, this is just so it shows up properly on the overlay. Over on this other side here, where all this empty space, I'm going to be drawing art for the AI-generated cards. Now, I do want to give myself some firm rules so that I'm not just here rolling over and over again all day. So that means I have decided that I can roll a maximum of 5 times per card. I would like to not use all 5 because I don't really have a good way of going back if I end up... I can't just bank a good result and then keep rolling and see if I get something better. First thing that is good and interesting in the first 5, that's what we're going with, because I don't want to waste everyone's time searching for the best thing. If the first one is good enough, the first one is what we're going with. So, with that out of the way, let us start Usurpers of Capenna, New Capenna, Obscura. We have Iron Shell Herald. Doesn't really sound like a legendary creature. They are, obviously, Obscura mana for a vampire soldier. Interesting. Do they come over from Maestros and they are trying to usurp Obscura? That's interesting. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained 5 or more life this turn, transform Iron Shell Herald. That's a shame. We have no transformation for Iron Shell Herald, and therefore this card is unfinished. An interesting idea, though. The idea of this vampire that maybe came from the Maestros and moved over to try to take over the Obscura, and they care about life gain in either a sort of white way or in a black way. Very cool. But not who we're going with. She hunts on her own terms, unwavering in her purpose. I wish I could use this card. It's a shame it's unfinished, because this is actually legitimately a cool design. We just don't see the other side, so we don't know what's going to happen. But from a flavor standpoint, it really lands well. Grim Monstrosity. Interesting. I want some more legendary style names. Come on. I know you can do it. AI. White, blue, black for a Spirit Pirate. Ooh, they're a 3/3 with flying. Nice. And whenever you cast a spell that targets only you, that's super rare. You hardly ever see cards that target you, right? If something says target player, I mean, the thing is, it actually works well for black, right? Black has the target player loses 2 life and draws 2 cards. That targets you, as opposed to a spell that just says draw 2 cards, right? Whenever you cast a spell that targets only you, target creature you control gains menace until end of turn. It's just kind of boring is the problem. Like, it's such a very specific requirement for kind of a bland payoff. They wanted a share of our attention. We found a way to make them demand it. Yeah, what's the flavor on Grim Monstrosity? I don't know. Huh. I'm gonna keep going. That's number 2. I don't know if it counts as number 2 because the first card was incomplete, but we'll call it number 2. Raksha. Cool. Vampire Soldier again. Interesting. Okay, I'm liking it so far. And there are 3 mana, 3/2 with 1 and a white. Return Raksha from your graveyard to the battlefield. Cool. Okay. This is not a super interesting card. It doesn't have like amazing things. But if you were playing like a commander game, you could build around this effect. It's a relatively cheap way of getting something recurringly out, like just like repeatably. You know, if you had, you know, enough mana production, you could just continuously res this forever, right? I'm sure there's other cards that do this, but are there other cards that do this from your command zone? I don't know, right? And if there are they in these color combos? Hard to say. So we have Raksha, the Vampire Soldier. I need to read the flavor text. Hail, we are not what? Lullabies. Okay. Hail, we are not lullabies, and we are not candles. We are armies. Volrath, Thassa's slave. What is that? That is a mess of concepts. But, cool, yeah, no, I'm still into this, right? Raksha, vampire, maybe they came from Maestros and now they're trying to take over the Obscura. They, this might even be like the same card, because the other one, as we remember before, did not have a proper name, right? They didn't seem like an actual, you know, formal name. They seemed like a non-legendary creature. So maybe this is Raksha, I've already forgotten, the something herald, right? That would be cool. That would be really interesting. So, let's jump on over to our art here and see what we can do. Now, the look that we already have established is pretty cool. I do like this hooded black and red design. Black and red's a bit of a weird choice for a, you know, non-black and red card. So maybe I'll change the color choices just to like make that land a bit better. Maybe use gold and blue. That would be nice. But otherwise, I can see immediately like the designs of a creature here. So let's see. We know we want sort of a hood. Is that a hood or is that hair, actually? I like it as a hood. I think it's more interesting. I do wish I could have some more extra color in this. Like, it's funny, because this does make me think of a, like a Maestro's card. But maybe that's the theme. Maybe the theme of Return to New Capenna is, that each of the gangs is trying to usurp another. And so, I guess we'll see, based on what the other results are. So far, this is kind of a generic drawing. I do like their arms sort of just like in front like that. I think that's really fun. I need to make this smaller, don't I? All right, let's actually scrap this and start a little bit smaller so we can really do it justice. Do it justice? Really? Is that the word you're using? Yep, that's the words I'm using. Do they have a weapon? I feel like they have a bow, weirdly, but they probably don't. Were there guns in New Capenna? I don't remember. I feel like I don't remember seeing any, but there probably should have been. That sounds right to me. Yeah. Alright. I need to stop fiddling with this. The thing is, right now, I don't really know what style I want to be going with. Do I just go full-on original doodle style? That's what I used to do. I used to do a lot of just like, hi! It's me, Raksha, the Vampire Soldier. Yeah, alright. Why did I ever not do this to start? This is great. Yep, that's the one. That's the winner right there. How does this cloak work? I don't know. You figure it out. It is perfect. This is just a vampire in a cloak. Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff happening behind her, apparently. This is really bad, Darcy. No, it's great. What are you talking about? It's great. Uh-huh. Yeah? Is that what you're going with? She doesn't even have, like, a weapon. Yeah. She doesn't need one. She just comes back from the dead a lot. So you're saying that you should... Do you want to work that into her design? That she comes back from the dead a lot? Sure. Let's put her in, like, a grave. What? Yeah, she's just poking out of the dirt. It's fine. Okay. See, this is what Xander should have done. What? Yeah. What's her name? Raksha? It's gonna just say Raksha back here. This isn't even that funny. It's really not. What are you gonna put on this tombstone? I don't know, like... Why'd they even set up a tombstone from her? She does this all the time, right? Oh yeah, she does this all the time. What's this? It's some, like, holy light, I guess? It's bringing back a vampire? Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's how that works, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. What? It makes perfect sense. Come on. I don't know what you're not getting from this. It makes total sense. Does she have white eyes? I'm gonna give her, like, black eyes, I think. Alright, let's throw in the, like, dark hair and the cloak, and we'll call it good. We gotta get to the next card. We really do. We really do have to get to the next card. We simply must. But just real quick, like, I want to throw in that, like, strip of gold I was talking about. Right. Instead of the red, we're doing gold and blue. You're kind of rambling, yeah. Well, I don't know. How do you fill space? With something worthwhile, hopefully. I mean, we'll talk about the card a bit. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much there's to talk about because, like, it's a very straightforward effect. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah, I get how that works. If I knew lots of magic facts, I could tell you all sorts of, like, here's some cool combos you could do with this. Isn't that fun? Isn't that cool? And I'm sure that would be interesting for somebody, but I don't know those facts. I'm a baby player. That sounds weird. Don't call yourself a baby player. But you know what I'm saying. I wish I could just spit some, like, this is how this works. This is how this mechanic functions. And, oh yeah, if you combine it with these cards, you're going to get a really good, you know, that's a very powerful commander because of reasons. Why does that work so well? Well, because one of your combo pieces is now in your hand, in your command zone, which is really powerful. Are there others that do that same effect? Maybe, and I don't know because I'd have to, like, look it up, and I'm not doing that right now. They just have a blue shirt. Yeah, they just have a blue shirt. I feel like this isn't Raksha. Yeah, well, Raksha just got made up, so this is Raksha now. I guess so. Do you think Raksha's like a real character on a different card? Maybe, right? A lot of times the AI just, like, pulls cards, like, names from Magic. So, entirely possible. And I wouldn't recognize them. Honestly, I don't think it's, like, a very legendary name, because it doesn't have a subtitle, right? I think it really should be Raksha, and then whatever the subtitle will be whatever that other card we saw was. I think that would be really cool. Such a dumb picture. I really like it, actually. You would. Yeah. This is so stupid. Wait, aren't they a vampire? Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's special light that they're fine with. Wait, they're a vampire. You can't do that. No, it's fine. It did not occur to me that probably I shouldn't put a vampire in direct sunlight. They're a special vampire. It's fine. It's okay, everyone. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. We have to move on. It's really funny to me. Okay, there's Raksha. Beautiful. Moving on. So we've got our Obscura friend, who it looks like is being usurped by the Maestros. And now we have our Maestro's friend, Enraged Bushwhacker. Again, this doesn't read as a legendary, but try to remember Enraged Bushwhacker. Maybe we'll append it to whatever the eventual legendary creature name is. They are a 3-mana 5/4 with Death Touch and Lifelink, and they can't be blocked? What? Holy crap! Is that too strong? It's 3 color. It's super, wow. It's so, like, boring is the thing, but holy crap, is that good? Do we just do this one? Is this it? Is it just Enraged Bushwhacker? The Ogre Warrior? Ogres, let's remember, are from Riveteers. This is keeping with our theme. Right? Like, is a Riveteer trying to push in on the... Wow! What's the flavor text say? The tallest oak gets no taller because it doesn't try to be. You are not any better. Callan, Iron Shell Captain. I don't know who Callan is. Is this Callan, the Enraged Bushwhacker? Probably not. It doesn't seem right. I feel like I should re-roll this. It's so cool, though. It's so brutal. It's just... the thing is, like, it's not an interesting kind of broken. It's just really strong. I'm gonna re-roll it. I'm gonna save this first. Can't. We're not using this. Oh, I only got 5 chances. If it's worse than that, I'm gonna be so mad. Naslia? Naslia, the Selesnya Envoy. Okay, that's weird. Another vampire. Okay. Naslia, Selesnya Envoy is weird. Did Selesnya send somebody, like, between planes? And they got here and they were like, we're green-white, but I want to take over the Maestros. And now I'm blue, black, red. Vampire Wizard. Other than the name, I'm liking this so far. 3-mana 3/3 for generic blue, black, and tap. Naslia, Selesnya Envoy deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Boring. For black and red and tap, Naslia, Selesnya Envoy deals 2 damage to target creature and each other creature that player or that planeswalker's controller controls. That player? Who's that player? Not the target creature's controller controls. We're rolling this again. Her zeal for Selesnya brings power and precision to everything she touches. Come on, give me something good. Oh, I need to scroll down a bit, I'm sorry. Ajani Tiller. Well, okay. 3-mana 2/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay. It's a spirit. Interesting. For blue, black, red, and tap, target creature gains vigilance until end of turn. Okay. I'm not so excited that I'm gonna, like, keep this one, but it's fine. I'm just really hoping for, like, a really good name. And maybe that's, like, too hopeful of me. We're dealing with the AI. We can't be that picky, but let's keep going. In times of turmoil, Ajani act as one. As if Ajani is like a faction. Ajani act as one, but always act as many. What? Keep going. Let's try this again. Was that number 3? That was number 3, right? Geist of the Moors, Geist Guide. Ooh. A 3-mana god, and they're a 5/5 with whenever you cast a spell, create a 5/5 red and green insect creature token with flying. This is worse than the first one that we saw. Probably. That's so strong. Put that in a Spellslinger deck and you just have a million creatures? All with flying and 5/5s and for 3 mana original overhead? I mean, I guess the question is, like, how much should I be, like, worrying about things being broken? Because, guess what? Things are gonna be broken. That's just gonna happen. And I don't want it to be too not broken, because I want something interesting to happen. Wow, just like, it's already a 3 mana 5/5. Which already, like, that's not the worst. I think Wizards could print a 3 mana 5/5 vanilla, and people would be like, that's fine. Wow. The dark gods and the grotesque wonders of Ankhet brought them to Cymede. Yeah, what is the flavor here? The Geist of the Moors Geist Guide is a god. I don't know. I don't think it comes together. Let's try again. Is this our last attempt? I think so. Julian Sun, Artisan of Earth. Pretty good so far. 3 mana 1/1. Okay. Tap, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Or tap, target artifact you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Ah, that's so boring. That is unfortunately boring, but, like, probably a perfectly reasonable card. I don't think that's too underpowered. It's just, like, not very interesting. I designed my work table from the memories of the relics of the past. My soul seeks a harmonious balance between invention and innovation, with a preference for refinement. I mean, I'm into this character. Julian Sun, Artisan of Earth. What is the flavor here? I do wonder if this is also like a Riveteers person who's like, I'm going to take over the Maestros. Because, like, it would be wild if we were able to get a full cycle of that. But, like, yeah, they're of the earth, right? They're like, this is an artisan. And artisan is interesting because it does land between Riveteers and Maestros pretty well. Because Maestros is, like, artists. And Riveteers is, like, workers. So, like, artisan is actually, like, between the two. I kind of like that a lot. I think that's the flavor I'd go with here. They're a human art. Yeah, no, I'm into this. Okay. Let's see what we can do with Julian Sun, Artisan of Earth. First of all, let's unpack this image. It's nothing. It is just nonsense. There's nothing happening in this picture. If I wanted to take this picture and, like, sort of carve out areas, kind of like I'm sculpting, you could find, like, a series of, like, robed people. I'm thinking, like, purple robes, which works well because it's blue-red. And then black, of course, is also purple a lot of the time, so I think that works well. They have oddly, like, you can kind of see an almost, like, Liliana headdress thing going on here, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this kind of, like, wispy, witchy shape. Yeah, alright. Let's see what we can do. I'm thinking very, like, wispy, willowy kind of thing. I don't know exactly what I'm going for yet. I'm just kind of feeling out the space. It's really weird, the implication that I've, like, made up, which is that if you take over one of the gangs of Capenna, you become their color identity, which is, like, a very weird idea, and I don't know why that would make any sense, but I kind of like it. They're an artisan. I'm making them kind of too much like a temple-y prairie person. I might have to start this over partway through, but I'm just going to feel this out for the time being, I think. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I like invention and innovation and refinement. They seem kind of like a fancy pants. Like, maybe they were Riveteers originally, and they were like, no, I need something fancier. I need the nicer things in life. And so they've sort of moved over into Maestro's space, because Maestro's has, like, you might think Cabaretti, which could make sense, because, again, Riveteers is between Cabaretti and Maestro's on that sort of spectrum. One's got artists, one's got, like, performers. More of an artist person. I could see that. This picture is nothing, though, so I'm gonna move on. Let's get another look at that reference. This reference picture is just useless. What do you think their, like, artisan trade is? We know they're an artificer. Are you just doing a potter's wheel? I don't know. When I think of artisans, I just think of potters. Is that weird? Is that weird? All I can think of. Also, we need to throw in our signature eyes. Okay. I mean, this is This has changed dramatically now that you threw those eyes in there and this smile. What? Why did you do this? I don't know. You like it though, right? I mean, I guess I do. I'm laughing. That's kind of like liking something. Now, I want to take a look at the ref again, because I kind of want to make them blonde in a weird way. Maybe they got, like, strikes of blonde in their hair. Let's give ourselves a nice head shape to start with, so that I know what the heck I'm doing. How long of hair do you want to give them? I did want to give them, like, long hair. But I think I might just go with, like, a short bob kind of thing. We will give them, like, big, like, sleeves that'll probably just get in the way, but that's fine. This was a good idea. I don't know if you get to say that. I don't know if you get to make that decision. Comment if this was a good idea or not. Oh no. And anything else? I mean, they got kind of like a sort of capiness going on, but I don't really know exactly how to capture that. It's funny. Yeah, let's throw some color on this and call it done. Again, as I mentioned before, I really shouldn't take too much time on these. How much time have we already spent? Yeah, yep. Alright, let's start with a base sort of purpley note. So we know we want like a purple for this, like, they're really gonna look a lot like Liliana Fangirl, I'm realizing, that was not the intent. Weird that once I start coloring, I just immediately clam up, like I have nothing to say anymore. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I know what I'm doing. Like when I'm doing the line art, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just sort of like throwing lines and hoping that something will work. But here it's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just coloring in the lines. Like it's just a coloring book at this point. Which you might think would be the opposite. Like, oh, when you have to think, it's harder to talk. And it's like, maybe, but at least I have something to talk about, you know? Perfect. Kind of. So that's, oh no. Yeah, it's Julian Sun, Artisan of Earth. Is this not the art you would picture on this? For this human artificer? What is their effect again? Oh yeah, they make servos. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, they're, I probably should have had them making servos. Give me a second, I'll just add a servo in the background of the shot. This is what a servo looks like on this plane. Don't even worry about it. Is that just the snitch? Kind of. I can't believe I forgot to give them servos. That was like the only note to go off of, and I just completely missed it. Look, today she wants to do some pottery. What, you gonna tell her no? You gonna tell her no? She does what she wants. This is a good idea. Dang it. Oh no. There's a little bit of twine and wire. Okay, we're done. We gotta move on. We gotta get to the next friend. Oh, are we making a friend group? I hope so. What's next? I've forgotten. Riveteers, of course. Sky Hunter Velocipede. Again. Okay, the fact that it's a velocipede when it's a dinosaur is very funny. A velocipede's a bicycle, if anybody doesn't know. But again, not a legendary creature name. 3 mana, 2/3, tap. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. for 1 black, red, green. Scatter Velocity deals 1 damage to any target. I don't even know if I'd keep this even if it did have an appropriate name. It's just kind of boring. 1 wheel. That's all it took to raise the dragon's leg. Now to slay the beast and avenge those who died. Enoradosk. Okay. Bryn. Enermach. I don't know what that means, but that's like a real, like, legendary style name. It's a 3-mana 5/5 with first strike. Okay. I'm with you. I think you could print that card. I think that it would be strong, but I think you could print it. At the beginning of each combat, you may have target creature block Bryn Enermach this combat if able. This card's great. I love this. Is it too strong? Maybe. Is it the best one we've seen so far? Maybe. But like it doesn't seem. It's not nearly as. Maybe it's more pushed. I don't know. Like not having the lifelink and the death touch make it very different. But first strike is scary. Like this thing is going to be hard to deal with, and it's just going to eat your units. He's like, you have to block me. Cool, I'm going to first strike kill you before you do any damage. Like, just every single combat. Even without the first strike, that would be scary. The power of their might, Bryn's shield, flowed through their flesh and became one with them. Okay, Bryn's got a shield. Don't forget to do that. They're an ogre warrior. This one actually feels like a Riveteer. Like, some ogre in the Riveteer was like, screw you, giant dragon lady. I'm going to win. It's my turn to shine. Alright. What's an Enermach? Is that a word I don't know? Oh, that's great. Oh, I love this. Alright, cool. Let's get a new canvas here. Alright, Bryn Enermach. Let's start. They're probably a very generic-y ogre person. Sometimes you gotta hit the tropes to start with. We can sort of see them. Do they have like a mohawk? What is that? I don't know. It probably isn't, but I'm going to give them sort of like a side mohawk. You know what I mean? You know, that thing that people have sometimes. Oh, I like this person a lot so far. I'm not sure what their gender is. I feel like Bryn is a pretty ambiguous name. Oh, did it gender them in the flavor text? The power of their might. Maybe they're non-binary. Sweet. Bryn, non-binary icon. Let's go. We know they have a shield. That's the most important thing that we know about Bryn. Bryn has a shield. Also, this is New Capenna. So let's, like, make one of those wild... Well, it's New Capenna, but it's Riveteers. True. So it's still probably a pretty rustic-y shield. Let's just, like, map out a body to start with, and we can, like, go from there. Again, we are sort of channeling this, like, weird, tiny, stylized art style, so we don't want to be too far from that, I don't think. Despite, you know, being a big ogre. I want to give them suspenders. I don't think the art implies this, but hey, the art doesn't really understand what New Capenna is. I think that's fine. Do you understand what New Capenna is? So far you drew a, like, vampire hanging out in the sun in a grave, and, like, a Liliana cosplayer. I mean, come on. No, I didn't. That's not right. I don't know. I think that's kind of what happened. I don't know. That doesn't seem correct. I feel like that's not a thing I would do. What do ogres even look like in New Capenna? I think they're just big people, right? Like, they're not really that distinct in their design as far as I can recall. They're just big people. I like the ogres a lot in New Capenna. Magic's so interesting in that it, like, just kind of does things with no rhyme or reason. Like, well, who are the citizens of New Capenna? You got humans, and cat people, and ogres, and devils, and cephalids, and bird people. Okay, is there any, like, reason? Is there, like a story behind how that happens? That just happens to be what the distribution of the plane is. And the, like, devils are just, like, people. They're not, like, they're just normal citizens. Yeah, they're just citizens like anyone else. Like, okay, yeah, sure. And I'm into it, don't get me wrong. I just think that it's, like, it's interesting. It's, like, what does it mean to be a devil when devils are just, like, normal citizens? Do I have to design a cool shield? I mean, you could design a not cool shield. Would that be easier? That would be much easier, yeah. I'm trying to think of what the, like, imagery of the Riveteers is that would make it, like, how would the Riveteers design a shield? And all I can think of it as being kind of, like, literally just a slab of metal with some rivets in it. And, like, that's boring, but, like, I mean, okay. Yeah, sure. I really like this design, actually. I think they might have a beard in the original, and, like, you know what? I'm okay with that. Like Nico. Nico's got a beard, right? And, like, I have a beard, and I'm not binary. I really like this. I like this one a lot, actually. Let's give them some boots, because boots are cool. And they're just really fun to draw in this art style. I think we met the brief. I'll say that much. Yeah, alright, cool. Let's just add some color to this. Call it good. So, wait, does this read as an ogre? I think so. I think it reads well enough as an ogre, sure. Do any of the ogres have... Ogres, yeah, the ogres have hair in New Capenna. They definitely do. Maybe not all of them, but some of them do. I like this one a lot. I hope people like this video, because I'm really enjoying this. Tiny legs. So good. I like this so much. Holy crap. Why do I like this so much? And then I need this just plate of metal. Which is, it's just a plate of metal. I didn't want it to be interesting, apparently. Why is Bryn's shield more special than anyone else's? It's not. It's just Bryn. Oh, I love it. This is great. Alright. We're calling it good. My hands are off. What's next? Whew. Alright, next friend. Let's go. Kothafed, Voice of Power. Okay, first one that actually has, like, a legendary style name right out the gate. 3 mana, 4/5, so again, push stats. And for 3 mana, the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn is dealt to any target creature instead. Wow. That's a weird effect. I feel like often that's not going to be very useful, but the fact that it's just like if your opponent has a Death Toucher, you can deflect a Death Touch into someone else's, like, into something else. It's interesting. It's kind of a steep price. I can't hear it, but I can feel it. Listen carefully. But, like, other than Death Touch, I can't really think of any, like, there's not a lot of things that care about, like, the damage happening, so it's kind of just, like, 3 mana ping something combined with 3 mana reduce damage, which, like, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I'm just not excited about it. Also, what's a Hydra doing here? Which, like, let me get ahead of that. I also didn't say, we're doing Cabaretti now! It's red, green, white. I just don't know where this Hydra's coming from. I'm gonna reroll this. It's not a terrible card. Prismatic Wasp. That doesn't feel very legendary now, does it? Insect, 2/2, 3 mana, flying, and a haste. Okay. For generic and green, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. For generic and green, it gains flying until end of turn. Wah, wah. This is a cool card, honestly. It's not legendary. The glass that burns is as dangerous as the smoke it lets out. Now, let's reroll that again. So this will be our third friend. Braid Scourger Underhanded is a 3 mana troll. Cool. They're a 3/3. Underhanded, which means it's an ability word. Okay, the ability word is underhanded, which means Braid Scourger Underhanded deals damage to each creature without flying equal to the number of creature cards in your hand. When? That's not, you didn't, there's no activation. Just another mundane experiment gone wrong. Braid Scourger underhanded. Oh, I'm so into this character. Why does the card not work? Dang it. Oh, it's cool. That sucks. It's even got flavor text by itself? So rarely does that happen with the AI. I also love the idea that their name is Braid Scourger Underhanded and they have an ability word which is underhanded or like a flavor word. That's so funny. But yeah, there's no trigger for it. So it just says they deal it. Like constantly, all the time, over and over again. Goodbye, Braid Scourger. We hardly knew you. Cabarne, Apprentice of Yawgmoth. Okay, what are you doing on Capenna? And also your mana cost was cut off. We know what it is, so it's not the worst, but still. 3 mana, 2/2 for generic red, green, white. Cabarne, Apprentice of Yawgmoth, deals 1 damage to any target, and you gain 1 life. That is basically the same thing as that Hydra, except for it costs 1 more. And I guess it doesn't deflect damage from a creature, which can be a big deal, right? If you have exact lethal on a creature, then being able to deflect 1 damage is like a big deal. It saves the creature's life, you know? Like, oh, I should have kept that Hydra. Should have kept the Hydra. Kurl, Lord of Extortion. Is another Hydra? Okay. When Kurl, Lord of Extortion enters the battlefield, choose 1. Regenerate Kurl, Lord of Extortion. That doesn't make sense. Until end of turn, Kurl, Lord of Extortion gets +1/+1 bleh, gets +1/+1 as long as an opponent controls an artifact. Until end of turn. So it's a 3 mana 5/5. It's a 3 mana 5/5. That sucks. I mean, it's fine. This is a 3 mana 5/5 with first strike. And, like, I don't know what the term of that is. It's not goad, but it's something like that. I don't know. We might be over my 5 limit. We're going to try and not do too many more. But some of those were just actually broken, so it's fine. Urza. What? Spymaster of Vessi is a 3 mana 3/5 spirit. With whenever you cast a spirit or arcane spell, you may search your library for a spirit or arcane card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Wow. Wow, that's powerful. Why, this could be the secret that sets my new service apart from the others. Urza said that. I don't know how I feel about having a card called Urza. I think I have to... Also, is this... Okay, is this ability not too strong? That's what I want to know. Because, like... And I don't mean, like... I don't know what I mean. I don't know what I mean. Let's ignore what I mean. But, like, whenever you cast a spirit, you cheat a spirit out from your deck. Some spirits are, like really, really expensive if you go to, like, old Kamigawa and stuff. Like, they can get huge. I don't think so. Are the new dragons spirit dragons? I don't remember. Yeah. Cabaretti, Research Scribe. Your name is Cabaretti? This is like Strixhaven, where all the schools are named after somebody whose name is that. Okay. Cabaretti, Research Scribe is a 3 mana human artificer with whenever you gain life, draw a card. It's a 2/2. Cabaretti can become a target for each spell that could draw its own card. I know I said I wasn't going to reroll the... Well, I don't know how many I'm on. I should keep this, shouldn't I? If this isn't my 6th card, this is definitely at least my 5th. I really shouldn't keep going. I made rules for a reason. That's just so boring. It's like, it's good. It's good. I can definitely see this as a card. I mean, it's 3 mana. I shouldn't be, like, asking for anything too pushed. This is actually a perfectly interesting build around. You could definitely run this as a commander in a life gain deck, and it would be very, very strong. Blah, 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 blah. It is Cabaret themed, actually, quite a bit. The flavor of this card is... I don't get it, though. Like, what is the flavor of this card? I'm re-rolling it. Screw it. It's my show. Sylvia Tom, Spear Wielder, is a 3-mana dwarf warrior. It's a 4/4 with menace. When Sylvia Tom, Spear Wielder, enters the battlefield, target opponent may search their library for a card named Sylvia Tom, Spear Wielder, reveal it, and put it into their hand. That is such a cool effect. It's very stupid, but it's very cool. Like, obviously... I mean, maybe not even. Like, that it's just like, what is the flavor on that? Like, when Sylvia Tom enters the battlefield, another Sylvia Tom gets, like, tutored out? If one exists. I mean, most of the time that's just gonna not do anything. You're gonna be like, hey, you can search your deck for Sylvia Tom, and they're gonna be like, I don't have one in my deck, and I'm gonna be like, ha ha ha, I knew you didn't. But, like, imagine if that does happen. Like, that's such a weird... The mirror match is wild on this. The dwarves didn't stand a chance. The trolls tore through the tunnels and were through before the dwarves could muster a battle cry. Oh, it's that troll we saw earlier. That Braid Scourger? Braid Scourger the troll? The underhanded? Yeah, I mean, let's make Sylvia Tom, Spear Wielder. They're kind of weird flavor-wise, because we're in New Capenna. They're cabaret-y. I mean, also just like dwarves just aren't a thing, right? We don't have dwarves on New Capenna, but I don't know. Maybe they're hanging out somewhere. Maybe there are dwarves somewhere, and a bunch of them got together and said, "Let's take over the cabaret." I don't know. That's for someone else to decide. Let's just make this card. Sylvia Tom, Spear Wielder. So we know one thing. They have a spear. We know another thing. They're a dwarf. But most importantly, like, I feel like if this was a card that was being designed for, like, the little novella tie-ins, the little short fiction tie-ins, there would have been a moment where, like, Sylvia Tom has to fight herself or something. I don't know. Give me some big goofy eyes. I love some big goofy eyes. They're very fun. It's too big. We need this to be a bit smaller. Okay. Sylvia Tom looks barefaced, unfortunately. I love me a bearded dwarf lady, but that's okay. What is this hair? I don't know. They look blonde, honestly. Wait, was that other hair not allowed to be blonde? That's not what I meant. I just... Don't forget they're a dwarf. They are a dwarf, which means I get to go as squirt as I want. What's a New Capennian spear? I can imagine the, like, guards having spears. I know it doesn't, like, make a ton of sense. New Capenna is, like, a weird pastiche, though. It's got a lot of, like, just people with, like, swords and stuff. You know, you can imagine the, like, cabaret ball that has, like, some spear guards because they think it's fancy to have guards wielding spears. And then this one, like, goes and murders everybody in the ball and is like, I'm in charge now! Ha-ha! Like that. You can imagine that, right? Right? We can all imagine that? That's not just me? I do feel like there's some kind of armored skirt thing happening here, which I'm pretty into. And then we can have maybe, like, a big cinch here. Is it still cabaret-y? Like, is everyone still, like, fancy dressed? Is this, like, one of those ones where it's, like, a battle skirt because they're at a ball? That's kind of a fun idea. Do you want to do that? Yeah, sure. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's okay. I'm okay with things that don't make sense. Hi, have you met me? Yeah, this is Sylvia, right? And they have their hair all done up because it's a ball. This is the guard at the ball who's like, I'm gonna take over. Yeah, that's my new flavor for this. I know it doesn't make any sense, but like that's that's what we're going with. Yeah, I'm into it. I got to a point where I was happy, and that's all I could ask for. I know that it's like supposed to be a spear, but I'm gonna make it all ornate because it's a fancy ball. The spear is not really intended for fighting, it's for looking cool, because it's a cabaret ball. This makes sense. Everyone should believe me that this makes sense. I'm really tempted just to give them a second spear, because that's really funny to me. What's the flavor text again? The dwarves didn't stand a chance. The trolls tore through the tunnels and were through before the dwarves could muster a battle cry. Do you know what happened here, right? Like, the dwarves have been living in tunnels beneath New Capenna this whole time, and then some trolls drove them out, and they were like, oh crap, we need to, like, find shelter. They're fugitives in New Capenna from the troll invasion, and now this one, Sylvia Tom, is here at the fancy ball, and is like, I don't know, maybe they're not a usurper. Maybe they're just a legendary creature. Maybe that premise was faulty. I don't know. You decide. But yeah, that's totally what happened here. I think this is great. I have no notes. I love this drawing. Let's see. What are your colors? Red, green, white. Alright. I want red hair. That's a thing I want. One of the people in the picture had red hair. And I've already given them these like big golden earrings, so that's our white. That's good. Apparently, I only can think of gold as white. There's no such thing as actually the color white, apparently. I do wonder if I should give her some makeup. She is at a ball, after all. There's a guard at a ball. Who's just, like, super out of her own element. I liked all the characters we made today, actually. I'm really happy with them. I was really worried about this like, show idea. Like, the last one I streamed, I really wasn't happy with the results. I was like, dang it. None of this, like, really made me excited. All of these I'm very into. I think they're all very fun. Let's give them green gloves. That's a classic. They just have, like, combat boots on? Yeah, they just have, like, combat boots on. Yeah, no, I'm actually really happy with how this has turned out. Because I was wondering how much this is just going to be, like, me drawing fan art of, like, AI art. And honestly, the AI art did very little. It is a little bit of influencing. But mostly it was the actual card design. It was the, like, oh, this is a dwarf. Oh, this is, you know, a spear bearer. Oh, they're part of Cabaret. Like, that did so much more work. And so that was the jumping off point for my own art. And I really liked that. That was fun. The like, coloring is so inconsistent in this series. Like, everyone has a different coloring scheme. Not like scheme, but like style. Like, none of them have shading except for Sylvia Tom here. I really like her though. I think she looks great. Alright. Let us call that good. The last one on the list. Oh! We're at the last one. This is amazing. We're actually, like, on schedule. I can't believe it. We are making our brokers usurper. Basri, Dracolisk Chieftain. Why are you a human? That was so cool, and then you made yourself a human? Come on, Dracolisk Chieftain. Alright, what do we got? Green, white, blue for a 3/5. Other creatures you control have menace. They can't be black except for 2 or more creatures. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control attacks, whatever. Defending player sacrifices 2 other creatures. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control attack. No, that's correct. Yeah. 1 or more creatures you control attack. Defending player sacrifices 2 other creatures. That is brutal. Holy crap, Basri. You're not messing around. I don't think we re-roll this. I think this is the card. I think we're good. I think we got in 1. And they look rad too. They're like, yeah, oh, they look cool. They look not like they're from Capenna, but they do look like some Ah, they're rad. Let's go with it. Let's just ride this one out. We're not losing a cool person by re-rolling. But Darcy, what if you like re-rolled and they were even cooler? Yeah, well, you can re-roll infinite times. That's not a healthy argument. Do you think they're bald? I think they're bald. I'm gonna make them bald. Oh, I didn't read the flavor text. He is what we would be. The sky is his cape. Karnax is it chieftain. I do not know what the is it are doing here, but the sky is his cape is rad as a, like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive, you know? If somebody told me that the sky was my cape, I'd probably be mostly confused. Never mind, bad example. I do kind of want to add some Capenna energy to this. Like, I just really like the design it already came up with, so I don't want to, like, do too much. Like, what's the flavor here again, right? Brokers, this is not a broker's card. This is someone who's come out from, like, nowhere. You know, this is like when Elspeth just shows up in New Capenna and is like, hey, what up? I'm part of your gang now. Like, this person doesn't care about the brokers, is not part of the brokers, and just shows up and is just like, I'm the green, white, blue person now. I'm not convinced they're even, like, from this plane. They're not a planeswalker, but somehow they got here. I don't know. Are they just standing? I feel like they have no personality. I think they're very cool, and yet I also don't know at all what the heck, like, to draw them doing. They're just here. They're just hanging out. Is this it? Am I done? Did I not? I don't. Is that it? I feel like that's not enough. You know, I'm just gonna color them in. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about this. Yeah, it's really important that I continuously speak all the time forever. Because I think mostly people watch these in the background. Hello, people who watch it in the background. I appreciate you. Like, a lot. The sky is their cape. Oh, it's really good. Honestly, the AI comes with such good flavor text. And there's something about it being this, like, little bite-sized chunks of flavor text, you know? Like, there are other AI, you know, systems you can use that make, like, here is it trying to write a novel, and it's kind of a mess. And even if it wasn't a mess, it's too much. I don't want to read a novel, even when a real person wrote it. I mean, I like novels in theory, and I used to read them a lot when I was younger, but I haven't read them in a long time. But the idea of just, like, here's this weird snippet. Ah, very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I kind of don't like this drawing anymore. I guess the thing is, it just doesn't have as much personality as my other drawings that I did today. Like, I don't know, someone's into this. Someone's like, oh yeah, I want this stoic guy in Magic. And you know what? I agree with that. But stoic is so hard to make, like, funny. Not that I, like, think of this as a comedy show or anything, but still. Honestly, more than anything else, this makes me think of the green poncho from Craig of the Creek. Which, if you haven't seen, it's just a great show. That show's great. I like that show a lot. It's been a while since I've watched it, though. I think I need to catch up. That's not important to anything that's happening right now. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Never mind. I'm gonna give you blue pants. They're just wearing jeans. They're just wearing jeans, probably. I don't know. I did not do this well. Oh, they're so cool. Dang it. I think that's them. Well, I feel like we've made it to the end of another episode of... I mean, I guess the first episode, if this becomes a show. And I'd like it to become a show. I super enjoyed that. If you have other ideas of initial prompts for me to make cards from, I would absolutely love to do this again and, you know, draw the resulting legendary characters. I had a blast with this. This was absolutely great. Have a good night, everyone. I have been DarcyBits. This has been Urza's Artificial Intelligence. We've made 5 new friends today. Have a good night.